you don't need to go very far to know the answer. In fact, you go to Parashat Noach. In the beginning of the world, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created Adam v'Chava. They made a mistake, but after almost 130 years, they did tshuva and restarted their life, and the world followed suit, their original action rather than their later action, and started sinning against Hashem. Sinning against Hashem to the extent where the world became disgusting in the eyes of Hashem. Where at the end of Parashat Bereshit, HaKadosh Baruch Hu writes in the Torah that Hashem saw the wickedness of man was great upon the earth, and that every product of the thought of his heart was but evil always. Meaning that mankind got to the point that every thought, and Hashem is not exaggerating, like, sometimes you say like, oh, this guy's always in trouble, but not really always. You're just exaggerating because he happens to be in trouble all the time, but not always. I mean, sometimes he's in the bathroom, sometimes he's eating, sometimes he sleeps, sometimes he actually does something good. But, he happens to be always in trouble. He's saying he's always in trouble? No. When Hashem says always, he literally means it. Every thought that mankind had was evil. And we see here, Parashat Noach, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, "V'tishachet haaretz lifnei Elohim v'timaleh haaretz Hamas." That the earth had become corrupt before God, and the earth has become filled with robbery, Hamas. Now, Chazal, our sages, say that Hamas was the last straw. Not necessarily the only sin, like some people think, that once you started stealing, that was it. No. Hamas, once Hashem saw that they're stealing from each other too, he said there's no hope for this world. Why? Because initially their crimes were against me. But I still kept them around because they were still okay with each other. But once they started stealing from each other, where one person would open a store selling some type of seeds, and everybody would say, oh, listen, let me taste one. Oh, okay, it's pretty good. No, I don't want any. Another guy would come, let me taste one. All right, take just enough, we don't have to pay for it. And the whole world would come to him, take one. By the end of the hour, he has nothing left. He's bankrupt. And nobody bought a single seed. That's how everybody would steal from each other. Meaning, they wouldn't violate the law by just taking the whole thing, but they would do halachically correct. Halachically correct is rational things. Rational things. Makes sense. I just took one seed. Yeah, but you're not allowed to take one seed if you know you're not going to buy. You know that, right? No. It says one seed I'm allowed to take. He said it's allowed one seed. Yeah, it's allowed because he thinks that if you're going to take one seed, it's because you have the intention to buy, or at least a chance to buy. But if you already know that before you go into the perfume store, before you go into the clothing store, before you go into the vegetable store, that you're not going to buy anything, you're not allowed to walk in. If you have no intention of buying, you can't use their product for free. Why? But they're giving it for free to everybody else. Yeah, under the understanding that the other people are customers or potential customers. You're not a potential customer. What you're doing is stealing. Now, this was the last straw. What was before this? Chamim say the sins before this were even more unacceptable, were much worse than stealing. But Hashem was willing to tolerate them so long as he thought that there's going to be some hope for humanity, because at least they were nice enough to each other. What were the other sins? The other sins, Rabotai Karim, were that they were committing every type of immoral crime you possibly can when it comes to sexuality. Incest, adultery, men with animals, men with men, which is in essence the same thing. All types of filthy, disgusting things. Needless to say, wasting seed, the Zohar Kadosh says that wasting seed was the one thing that Hashem couldn't tolerate more than most. Guys wasting seed by themselves, no woman, nothing. Hashem made it, it was completely disgusting to Hashem. He says this is enough of a reason to destroy the world. But he allowed the world to continue all, so long as there was hopes that man could recover.